the joke about the terrorism time too, because this isn't the first time you've chosen to take a moral stance over the legal. Can you give a bit of background as actually just a Muslim brother? Because we have this idea of activists, we have this idea that there's some sort of superhuman distance between the people that participate. So even going back to that, what kind of fueled you to take that moral stance and have that courage?
Well, that situation was in 2017. I found myself in a dilemma where I was being asked by the police to give them access to my laptop and my phone. At that time, I was returning from an investigation trip in Doha, where we had just taken testimonies from a torture survivor, a man who had been tortured and imprisoned in the US for many, many years. So when I found myself in that situation where I had to either breach the trust that we as an organization, CAGE, have to torture survivors or risk arrest, I opted for the latter. So they arrested me under, again, terrorism powers, and ultimately that went to court. And ultimately the law, the way it is designed, they found me guilty. However, not for one moment did I or my team or anyone who understood the situation think that that was anything but a victory of our morals and our conscience against an unjust law. And here we are in 2025, where the same architecture of terrorism laws are being used for political purposes, but on a much larger scale. I mean, as an organization, we've been supporting individuals who've been criminalized using terrorism powers, so we only know too well. But it has to be said that the majority of our clientele are from the Muslim background, and this is no kind of accident, you know, this is by design. The war on terrorism, which was unleashed in 2001, has led to the criminalization, the suppression, the shutdown of Muslim civil society, Muslim activism, Muslim political voices all around the world, and Britain has been no different. So that's the connection. We're seeing now in 2025, in the era of genocide, terrorism laws are again being used, and being used in a very brazen way, in a very kind of almost caricature way. And the British public, obviously, they're not having it. They are coming out in their hundreds to oppose that. So we're standing with them in solidarity, and in solidarity with our brothers and sisters who are fighting for their lives in Palestine. Inshallah, we will continue that struggle until Palestine is free, inshallah.